Hey everyone, welcome to the PivotBoss Premium Trading Room here, and welcome to lunch. Thanks for joining me today for this look at PivotBoss Masters. My name is Frank Ochoa. I'm also known as PivotBoss. I wrote a book called Secrets of a Pivot Boss, and that book was really well received. It was published back in 2010. Traders around the world really gravitated toward that book and its concepts, and PivotBoss Masters is really what has become after that book. It's really the foundation was laid in that book for how to approach a market, all the various things that you really need to know. And then what we've kind of pushed forward was really homing in on certain aspects, especially with Masters, to really identify certain areas where traders really want to engage a market, areas where you want to stay away, and then how to step on the gas when things are really working well, when the pace and tempo is good. So for those of you traders who want to improve, I want to talk to you a little bit about our PivotBoss Masters training and also how we approach the market. Let's look at some charts here and talk about how we look at the market just a little bit so you can kind of get a feel for our approach to the market. Really quickly, again, my name is Frank Ochoa, and if you want to learn a little bit more about me, PivotBossMasters.com is the website here, and you got all this quick access up here on this website. You can click on the About section here. It'll scroll right down to this area, and you can click and expand on this various sections to learn a little bit more about me and my background. I've been very, very fortunate in my experience. The stock market has been my passion since middle school. Since middle school, when I would get home from school, my parents would be at work. So I'd grab a newspaper, look at the previous day's stock quotes. I'd turn on CNBC and I'd look at the floor traders screaming at each other. I thought it was amazing. I really wanted to be a part of it. So I learned. Self-study for a long time. Finally, when I was a freshman in college, I opened up my first account and I began trading, but it was longer-term swings, and it was the roaring 90s where everything was going up. And I got some experience in college, and finally I actually got hired by a company named Nirvana Systems. So Nirvana Systems here, back in February of 2001, I was hired. I was still a senior at the university, so I was still at college, and I was hired to become a trader in their trading room. And that's where my professional career started. And for the most part, I was tasked with the responsibility of creating automated strategies that just make money with the push of a button. You push a button, we build the algorithms to find and trade opportunities, from the signal entry to filtering trades to confirming trades to the artificial intelligence that goes into those trades, to the risk management, how you scale, how you enter those trades, the portfolio management, all of those aspects. And that's what we did. I was there for 10 plus years, and we built some incredible tools, some incredible robots, did some incredible things. And that experience has really helped me create and define my own approach to the market, an approach that is very basic because it looks at the most important key levels that you need to be concerned with, and it helps you kind of phase everything else out. From there, it's about understanding the theory, having a market structure that you can trade from, some market framework, and we talk about auction market theory being our framework, and then how to analyze a market from price to volume analysis and the various aspects. How do you analyze a market, and then how to execute. So all of this experience has helped me create a program at PivotBoss Masters that can help any trader, whether you're a scalper, whether you're a swing trader, a position trader, an investor, whether you trade options or stocks or ETFs or futures. My methodology was created because of my experience. My experience was in automation. I would create and automate these strategies to trade a market. So when you have an idea that makes money, one of the easiest ways to see how it works is to then create that strategy and push it out to various data sets, different time frames, different instruments, those types of things. So my framework, the way that I approach the market, comes from creating a universal approach to the market that we as traders then can use. As scalpers, we can use the same approach to be swing traders. We can use the same approach to trade futures in crude or Forex, or we can use the same approach to swing trade cattle. It's just because we're looking at the right things. And these are my market specialties. These are the specialties that if you want to become an elite trader, for the most part, you need to check off probably 80% of those, right? And that's what we do at Masters. I've created an approach that easily allows traders to learn what we're doing, grab a quick market framework, and then start using these concepts immediately. Because trading can be quite difficult. The learning curve can be super steep. But when you have an approach that's time-tested, that's been around for a while, because this is basic auction market theory with price and volume, it's looking for market structure, it's identifying failed range expansion, it's those types of things. That's where you really build a robust approach that you can then use in all of your trading, because you're not just a trader that has a $20,000 or $50,000 account there sitting there waiting to trade. You probably have an IRA, a 401k, you probably have other assets that you want to trade as well, like real estate, for example. All of these principles can be used in the same way because it's a market. All markets perform and behave in a much the same way based off of these market principles. There's buyers, there's sellers. There's aggressive participants, there's passive participants, there's trapped participants. Those concepts are what you need to become a trader, to kind of become an elite trader and pick your spots. So that's a little bit about the training there. If you look down here to where it says training here, it tells you a little bit more about our core training and proprietary training. Our core training is designed to be a powerful, intensive introduction to how to become a trader quickly and know the things that you need to know right away. You'll get all of the information you need to know to become an elite trader. But just because you watch the videos doesn't make you an elite trader. From there, it takes you taking that information and then building skill from that information, right? It takes you to apply that information and practice and gain experience. The proprietary training section is kind of like that as well. You're learning information about our proprietary tools, how to find setups, how to find opportunities, how to find amazing targets. But at the same time, we're also actively showing you how to prospect for these opportunities, how to set up a scan, for example, in Thinkorswim, how to find these opportunities that you're looking for in the market. And then once you find the opportunity, how do you confirm that trade? Where's your entry location, right? Where's your trade location? How do you scale out of that trade? Those types of things. How do you reduce risk? These concepts are all taught in this training in a way that makes it so simple to understand and absorb that you can begin using these concepts immediately to improve your trading. And, for a long time here, I've gotten amazing feedback and testimonials from traders from around the world that send me the most glowing emails and tweets and just feedback. It's incredible. But sometimes it's so incredible, it's almost embarrassing to post how nice these folks are. I get it because this is not, I'm not selling a holy grail here that says that you will be profitable. I'm giving you the information that you need to know to become successful at trading. And once you build that skill, then you can be empowered to trade any account you want, any size, any instrument, any time frame, because all of these concepts are scalable. They're all scalable. And that's what I love. Additionally, we do offer proprietary tools. Again, I cut my teeth in the industry as a developer for our trading room. I developed indicators, I developed strategies, I developed a lot of different things, and I was tasked with trading these things. So I believe that of anyone out there, we have perhaps the best collection of proprietary tools for traders. We have 6 core proprietary indicators that we offer: PivotBoss pivots, PivotBoss bands. PivotBoss pivots are pivots just like any other pivots, but they're amazing and they work much better than most other pivots you'll come across. And again, that was my major field of study. We also offer bands, PivotBoss bands, and these are based off of volume weighted average price. So VWAP, these are standard deviation bands based off of VWAP, so you can understand value and over and undervalued areas, those hidden areas of support and resistance that most traders don't see, but we pros can see with ease. These types of tools, the ADR tools, the PIMA tools, our PivotBoss oscillator, these are all included with Masters. And currently speaking, we have them available for these 4 platforms. Investor RT, which is a phenomenal platform. If you haven't tried it, we have a 2-week free trial. And then after that, it's $50 a month for the base package. If you add some bells and whistles, you might pay $100 a month, which I do. So I actually paid for Investor RT, but they've been nice to give us a free trial. Thinkorswim is free as well with an account. And if you don't fund the account, then you still have a free platform. And it's something that you can use to analyze and scan. NinjaTrader, again, another free platform. Unless you decide to trade with it or trade through it, then you would pay the one-time fee. I think it's a great model for traders because lowering your overhead is a big deal. And OmniTrader is again, goes back to my roots. This is the first platform that I coded into and traded from and traded through and helped build the company with those fantastic people at Nirvana to build a great platform and stream of products for this platform. And again, I have our PivotBoss tools available for OmniTrader as well. So a great collection here of partner platforms. And again, if you don't even use these platforms, you can still take our training and still make money and it still be of value, because this core training is universal of platform. This is just training that all traders need to know before they even get a platform, right? And then over here, this is proprietary training based on tools, but again, this is training of how to find opportunities, how to pick the best trade location, how to pick the best targets. Again, that's information that you can use independent of platform. That's just how you analyze and forecast for a market. So these are fantastic ways to approach learning a market. We have proprietary tools here, so you can see this gallery. You can kind of see it in action. For example, here's our PivotBoss ADR indicator for for NinjaTrader, which has been highly sought after. So many traders have wanted indicators for NinjaTrader for a while, and I'm so happy to finally be able to provide it. But this indicator right here, if you're a serious trader, you need an indicator like this indicator. It helps you quantify actual price movement in the market. So when prices are compressing, it'll tell you. It'll tell you. So that's a time to start looking for expansion, forecasting expansion. It'll tell you when prices are too overextended, so now you should be forecasting compression. To know those things is very important, because then we can plan and execute trades off of that information. So these tools are worth their weight in gold. They're incredible tools. The PIMA 3 indicator here as well, great for trend confirmed opportunities, great for compression opportunities, helps you identify clear entry zones. It's a fantastic indicator as well. Over here, this is for Thinkorswim. You'll see the oscillator down here, the PivotBoss oscillator. I don't use a lot of derivative indicators, but this is one that I created. That is the only oscillator I use. It's incredible. Color-coded for Thinkorswim here can show the clear moves. But when you combine all these indicators together, the PivotBoss pivots, ADR method targets, the oscillator, that's when you really start to combine to find high probability opportunities, high confluence zones, areas that just make sense. And once you start to see those signatures that you want to see to get you into a trade, then you look to execute and manage that trade. And we teach everything from the ground up. So if you're trying to figure out how to enter a trade better, we'll tell you exactly where the best entry points are or tend to be, so that when you enter a trade, you're going to experience minimal adverse excursion. That means when you get into a trade, it's not going to go against you a whole lot. before it goes in your favor. You don't want to experience a lot of heat in that trade. And I'll be honest, when I first started trading and even early in my professional career, I was thinking, how do traders do it? How do they get into a trade and know within 2 ticks of a low that that is the low? You know, I needed at least a 3-point stop in the ES, and even then I was, you know, iffy, it seemed like. But now, with the clarity of how we approach the market, we can tell you right away that this is about the low or to the tick low of about where it should be, and your entry should be about right here. Any farther, and you're starting to increase your risk. So we have it down to almost a science in certain aspects, but for the most part, it's because we're really, you know, our approach to the market is more hands-off and kind of let's watch the market and allow it to develop. It will tell us when it's rejecting. It will tell us when things are happening, and when we see those signals, those triggers, then we react and know exactly how to execute that idea. So that's what this is about. So this is you know, you can flip through the gallery and see some more of these charts. We're going to see more. If you become a member, you're also going to get a free month of trading room access. You can click this little button right here, and it'll pop up the video, and you can watch what a typical day in the trading room looks like. This is from April 5th, just a week or so ago. And this details a buying opportunity that we were looking at in the ES and some of the other ideas we talked about. So this is what it would look like in the market. So our trading room is really important because it's kind of the playground where we learn. It's where we take our training from masters and we actually implement it and practice, right? This is where it all happens. So I received an amazing email from one of our trading room members who has bought my book, you know, bought Masters, became part of the trading room, and he thought all of it was great, but being in the trading room really tied everything together. He said it was like it was like the lab that goes with the college course, right? The lab is where you're doing all the practicing and the actual application where things really click. And so that's part of this whole thing. You know, if you come to Masters, we're not going to leave you high and dry. You learn the content, we're there, and then you come into the trading room and you're there hanging out, seeing this stuff implemented live every single day from 8 to 11 a.m. We're in the trading room. And again, I always mention that I'm so blessed, so humbled that these traders write these amazing testimonials and these amazing things about our content, sometimes even about me. Very, very lucky. But you know, people can say nice things all the time. And, you know, really where I really started to feel it was when professional traders started to say these things. Because I expected novice traders to love the content because, yes, it's a pro way of looking at it and it really opens your eyes. But for true floor traders, you know, independent traders, fund managers, for, you know, quants, for those types of folks to send me these types of testimonials is incredible at times, just beyond words. But again, that's my approach, is to try and provide the best content I can, try to dumb it down to where I can understand it in a way that just makes it simple and we execute a simple approach. These folks love the content. And again, I have an ironclad 30-day money-back guarantee. So right now, the price for Masters will be increasing. The increase will happen April 21st. It's the first time we're doing this. And the reason for doing this is it's been 5 years. It's been a while. And we have a ton of content now. We have a ton of you know, content that's all over, really. It's not even all... There's a lot of great segmented playlists, a lot of great things, but it's just... a lot of great content that's going to be restructured into in a just incredible library that's already in the making. So it's the value is if we were looking at our standard deviation bands right now, 995 is probably a S5 standard deviation. I mean, it's a fantastic value. So you can get in before it goes to 1500. The price increase will go to 1500 April 21st. I have also brought back the 3 installments because some of you love to pay in installments and say, hey, I can't do $9.95, but I really want in before it goes to $1,500. That's where you can come here and say, okay, you can do $331 for the next 3 months, and you're in. And remember, you could come in for as little as $331. You could look at the training, and tomorrow decide, you know what, this is not for me. And you could ask for a full refund right away. So the risk is very, very minimal right now. And actually the risk is 0 because you got a 30-day money-back guarantee. With that, you're going to get lifetime access to the training on the website. You're going to get our core training, our proprietary training, all of our proprietary indicators and tools, and you're going to get 1 month trading room access. That's a ton for as little as $331 for a first payment. And that's incredible value again. I wish I came across something like this when I started trading. Instead, it took me many, many years of a lot of tough experience to get to where I am. But the great news is that for others trying to become much more skilled at trading, this is gonna shorten the learning curve immensely. So that's certainly here for you. If you look at our latest news section here, you can also come down and look at some of the things that we have. For example, we just posted NinjaTrader 7 indicators, actually right here. So if you go here, this is our resource library page for NinjaTrader at the moment. It's currently developing. You can download the zip for those 4 indicators right now, in addition to many more things. But that's basically it right there in terms of Masters in a nutshell. It's a fantastic training that I believe any trader really, really needs in order to become super successful. Otherwise, you're going to be treading water for a long time until you really get it. This is a way to really shorten that learning curve and really start becoming elite and trading like the elites do. As I always say, if you want to become a professional trader, you have to emulate what the professional traders do. And so this is phenomenal content that I think any trader needs. Just really quickly, for those of you who want to stick around, I wanted to show off a quick chart here. This is gold, and this is this morning in gold. And our traders in the room nailed this one, nailed it. And this is what I mean about, you know, our approach being so powerful, because in our trading room today, I'm going off about some other chart, and one of our traders says, hey, GC is below S3. What that means to us is that gold is 3 standard deviations below value right now. It's super undervalued. And so when that happens, the idea is to look to fade it back to value. That's right here. Price got outside that green dotted band right there. That's on the PivotBoss bands. Price got outside that band. This blue dotted line is VWAP. That's volume weighted average price. That's 3rd standard deviations below value. So price was significantly undervalued at this moment. And then quickly price pops back above value, the S3 band, and rallies. So what I mentioned to our traders, we get on here and I say, it's forming an absorption signature right now. I said, this is the moment right now where it's forming an absorption signature. This is the ideal entry. Right here is ideal entry is 1281.5. 1281.5 is the ideal entry. This is one of our favorite entry approaches. This is my favorite entry on a scalp basis, on a swing basis. It doesn't matter. It's this approach. And right here, that's the entry. It went 3 ticks against it and rallied about 8 handles up. Goes against you $30, goes in your favor $800. That's what I mean about being able to identify when and where to execute a chart and how to identify the best trade location. Not just that, but when I mentioned that this thing could come back to value here, it wasn't just me who did all of this, right? It started with one of our members saying we're outside of value. and then I come in and clean it up and say, well, this is the absorption that's building. I think you're right. That's an opportunity. And then another trader says, about 20 minutes later, another trader says, hey, I'm in gold off that zone. I'm long up here. Do you think it's going to go higher, or what is going to happen? So, you know, these are traders that have gone in here, gone into the trading room, gravitated toward the approach, and now look at where price is right now. This all happened here. Price went 3 ticks against our 81 halves, and now they're trading a high of 94s. Incredible, 13 handles later. Now, when the trader asked here, hey, do you think we're going higher? I'm still in. I said, well, right now we just met value in a chop zone. So we might chop a little sideways first, but then I think we have 90 to 91 as the final target. And then look what happens. It chops sideways a little first, and then it pops into the target zone. So for all intents and purposes, that was the idea. Everything outside of there, that's a different trade, another trade. You can hold on, because on a swing basis, I told our traders on a swing basis, 1280s is the swing buy, and there could be 1300 to 1306 coming on a swing basis. So pullbacks could be defended. But again, I just wanted to show you, this isn't all talk in terms of, you know, my training's better than their training, or my training's the best ever. It's talking more about identifying those major levels that you need to know about, and then teaching you how to execute your idea. And that's what these traders in the room have done. And that is a testament. This trade that you're looking at right now is a testament to those traders putting in the effort with our training. And look at the flawless move. Just incredible. So this is a great question right here. Thank you for this question. The question is, can you speak a little more on your thoughts on why swing trading is better than day trading futures? Okay, that is a great question. Hey, Sonny, that's a really great question, because the market is super fluid. And this is something that I've learned as a trader, is that I've had to remake myself as a trader. You know, it seems like every several years. You keep your base foundational principles, your auction market theory, your execution principles, right? But in terms of how you engage a market, it's almost like playing a game. You take what the defense gives you. And so lately, especially like the last 6 months of last year, the market was very tightly coiled after July, and it was not a great market there for swing trading. It wasn't the best. So you had to go intraday a little bit. So the intraday swings were a little better during that time. But the first 6 months of last year was a swing trader's paradise. And the reason why I think you have to go with what the market's telling you. In this case, GC here, this was a great day trading opportunity today, because there was pace and tempo. There was lots of great movement. So it was active. But you don't see that every single day anymore. There's lots of uncertainty in the market. So there's going to be days where the market takes a day off, and that's not great for day trading. But on a swing trading basis, you can line that one trade up. You can grab a quick 3 to 5 day move, and then you can let everybody else play around with the trading range. And that's very, you know, that's enticing to many traders, as it was to me. The other deal is the algorithms, right? Something like the ES. I've watched the ES go through so many different personalities, market personalities, from being, you know, something that doesn't move but, you know, 4 or 6 points a day, to something that moved 68 to 86 handles a day. I mean, the average 10-day range for the ES used to be, I remember, 86.5 points back in about 2011. Now we're averaging, right now, the ES has an average range of 21.75 points right now over the last 10 days. And that's high. It had been around 15 forever. So the market has changed. The amount of points you can take out of the market during the intraday has shrunk down. And I think that makes it more difficult. So you got better traders that are fighting over smaller scraps. And the traders that aren't as good are going to get squeezed out. You got the algorithms that are doing their chop game in there. So backing out into a swing game, makes a lot of sense from a lot of perspectives, and it's been very, very beneficial to me. Not only that, scalping can be very taxing mentally. I was having to focus very hard for 6.5 hours straight when you're scalping, and that can be very mentally taxing. And if you want longevity, you can't be mentally taxing that much. That's why I've taken a standoff approach to scalping lately. While I can scalp with the best of them, and I have, I only choose to do it when the getting's good and when the pace and tempo is the best. Otherwise, you got to wait for the opportunities. But that's a fantastic question coming from a pro. So great question, and thanks for that. So basically, I wanted to keep it brief today, and I want to thank all of you all for joining me today, just to get a peek at Masters. I'm not someone that rah-rah markets like crazy every single day like you see some folks. And instead, for Masters, it's usually a once-a-year thing. Maybe I might do it twice. This is a fantastic value. I think you're going to love it. And if it's not for you, then you got a 30-day 100 money back guarantee. But price goes up $500 April 21st, so you got a chance to get in while the getting's good right now. So I definitely wanted to say thank you all for considering PivotBoss Masters and being a part of today. So here's a good question here. When did you get consistently profitable? How do you manage your emotions? So that is something that, again, is another great question from someone that you could tell probably has a little bit of experience here. Just because consistently profitable was one of those buzzwords that a lot of folks use because that's what people want to hear. But being a trader, sometimes you get what the market you take what the market gives you, and if the market's not moving, then there's nothing to be profitable on. But if you can be a well-rounded trader and be able to trade multiple time frames, that's why this approach is so powerful, is that you can trade this approach as a day trader, as a swing trader, as an investor. You can trade monthly charts and your 401k and do this approach because it's based off true auction market theory and key levels. So that's one thing right there, is that you're able to spread it out. But in terms of my profitability, early on I was lucky because it was the roaring 90s. Again, you bought something, it went up. I remember Motorola got in at 50. You look up a year later, it's at 150. It was incredible. It's not like that anymore. And I think that's why you had lots of day traders that did well early on. And then, once 01 happened, it wasn't that way anymore, because now 2001 is when the bear market started. And now all of a sudden, that's really started to pound a lot of folks, knocked a lot of people out. It was an up and down thing. The other thing is going to the professional level where you're trading now managed accounts. In that environment, I was doing lots of testing as well. So you're trading based off of ideas that work, so accounts going up, and then you're also testing ideas on accounts. So sometimes you're having to test ideas because they're not working, and so it's a constant dev environment but by the time we left, by the time I left Nirvana, one whole wall of computers were just robots trading the market. So we did some great things by the time it's all said and done. But it was quite a grind, and we didn't have the tools and the things that you have now available. It's incredible to have the footprint, or something like Bookmap Trader or Trail of Intentions. Those things really help you pinpoint opportunities much better, and it's a much better approach nowadays. The markets, you have to pick and choose because the algos can run it. So, but there's many other markets to engage, and that's what's great. Our approach can work on anything, and that's what I love. Thanks for the question. So with that, I wanted to say thank you all again very, very much for joining me today for lunch. I had a fantastic pulled pork sandwich that I smoked for 8+ hours on Saturday, in addition to some baked beans with some rendered pulled pork I did for 3+ hours. Oh, it was amazing. I love lunch. Anyways, hopefully you all had a fantastic lunch as well. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you all again soon. Talk to you soon. Take care.